Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another Speed Pixel, Speed Paint, whatever we're calling these. I think we're just going to have a look, see what's going on. So this one is my piece called Reflections Solace, and the story card that this belongs to is actually a very almost peaceful piece to begin with, and essentially it's an abandoned city / town in the middle of this pitch black place in the world called the World's End or World's Edge. I've not finalised an idea of exactly what yet, but the idea I wanted to create with this one is a very visual kind of sparseness. So there's this town in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of like a sea of glass almost. So this lake that the reflection of the tower falls onto is reflected in the story that you read. You essentially go to this town, find a mirror that has trapped thousands of souls in it, all the souls of the people in the town. And so I wanted to mirror that, see what I did there, in the imagery. So as we go through, you'll soon see there's a reflection of the tower on the water when I draw that, but also in the story, the words itself as well. So this was a really fun piece, a really short one too, actually. I did intend for it to be a little bit more detailed, but as I developed the sort of story, it didn't really need to be that detailed, and I think it adds more depth to the words as you read them. And obviously I'll be able to put that full card out in the main game once it's ready. But this was all just about blocking out colours and working with a very, very simple palette, which was a challenge I wanted to try. And now you can see I have extended the colours slightly because they were just too harsh for what I wanted to achieve. So I've set myself a limit of this limited palette, but then within that I can create new colours using 25, 50 and 75% opacity over all of those. So there's plenty of colours to choose from, but it adds a bit of a visual consistency across everything going forward. So this kind of lake ties in a little bit with the black of the sky, which is only really illuminated by the very few stars that are there. But this bit's always fun. Creating reflections is always fun. You just flip it vertical, change the opacity, and that's pretty much it. Take out some of the details so it's not quite as clear. Add a few ripples and overlay it, and that's pretty much it. It just the reflection creates itself, really. So now I'm doing something a little bit different, which I've not done with my pixel art before, is I'm using a painter's brush essentially to create a little bit more of like a rippled kind of effect in the water. Rather than hand pixeling everything, I saw an opportunity and took it because we're on a bit of a deadline. For those who follow along, you will know I want to create the version 2.0 of the prototype, and this was necessary for that. So I thought, why not? Let's give it a go, see if it works. And I think it does. I could have achieved the same look with pixels and hand pixeled it. It would have just took a lot longer. So you can see now just drawing in the edges of the island, and I was a little bit unsure on how to do this. So I've taken some of the colours from the town, and I think they're separated so much by that landmass that you don't really know they're the same colour. And then just neatening up this water here as well, because let's face it, it needs to be a bit neater. We want to make it nice and tidy. And then experimenting a little bit with different shading, different colours, trying to get that island to stand out a little bit, and then a few reflections just to build that out a touch as well. I think the contrast was important as well, to make sure, obviously with such a minimal look to the whole piece, it needed to have the right level of contrast. So this is us putting it on the main card. There was a placeholder there before that I just found off Google Images for myself. But then that's pretty much it. Simple, nice and easy. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later.